8 have been arrested. How did you feel upon hearing these news and knowing that the arrests have been made and that now it's up to the law?
You know, when I heard that the arrest was made, it's where I respected our law, because this is exactly what must happen.
She can't speak at the moment, but once she's able to speak, we'll be able to touch base with Maria Letwaba and find out exactly what it is that is holding her back. And it all is in and around the fact that she's taken Safa to court over the electoral process. So once we're able to, we will go and speak to her, give you some of the Champions League victories and as well the teams remaining in the last 8. That's coming up in just a few. There was one match in the Nedbank Cup last night, and Swallows Football Club lost to Amatax last night. So they out of the Nedbank. There is a game tonight as well, AmaZulu, and the best team in the DStv Premiership right now. When you look at the stats over the last 5 games of every team, Sundowns, Chiefs, Pirates, Stellenbosch, Cape Town City, Cape Town Spurs, all of them included, Sekhukhune United has got the best numbers right now. They've collected more points over the last 5 games than anybody else. They're in action against a team that ranks as one of the bottom teams at the moment in the DStv Premiership, and that is AmaZulu. So we'll give you a little bit of that as well. Let's take a break. When we come back on the other side, players have been arrested. They appeared in court. We'll go to the police to give us the details on that, and then we'll speak to a man that was feeling disgruntled after, obviously, the scuffle and the fights broke out that we saw on the internet. In the last 8 of what still remains at the moment in the Champions League, you've got Arsenal and Manchester City, the 2 Premier League teams, the English teams that remain in the competition. You've got Barcelona, Real Madrid, as well as Atletico Madrid, the 3 teams that remain from Spain. And then, of course, you do have one team from France. It is Paris Saint-Germain that still stays in the competition there. Those are your 8 teams that remain in the competition, or one of them is going to take it. A lot of Arsenal fans thinking this is their year, this is something that they can go on to do. We'll have to wait and see. There are games, of course, in the DStv Premiership as well. We saw one game last night, and it was a loss to the Premiership side team that lost to Tuks, and that's Swallows. It was an unbelievable result from many, but is it really when you see what's been happening at Swallows Football Club? Perhaps an opportunity to focus on the league here as well. Sekhukhune United will be taking on AmaZulu, awaiting that game this evening. So you can go and check that one out. It's exactly 16 after the hour 6. You may please give me a call on 086 000 2160. I know a lot of you want to speak about how Arsenal's doing the things, but to take Porto to penalties? Come on, that doesn't instill any belief in me, at least. There is 2 big things that they're doing at the moment, Arsenal. I mean, you have to look at what they're doing in the league. A lot of people having hope that this could be it. This could be the year that they could repeat only what the Invincibles last did and win the Premier League. Is it within their grasp? I mean, they still do have to play Manchester City as well, so do consider that. It could sway either way. Oh, is this Manchester City side not as dangerous looking as they once were last season or maybe the seasons before? You tell me on 086 000 2160. Who's your favourite to win and take this Champions League? You can never oust Real Madrid when it comes to such things. With Vinny being in the form that he's in, I wonder if they touted as perhaps the best. Harry Kane. That's the other team that we didn't mention, isn't it? It's Bayern München. Harry Kane wants it. He wants a trophy of some sort. Is this going to be the time that he gets his? Those are the 8 teams that remain. Tell me your thoughts there, and we will take it from there as far as conversations is concerned on WhatsApp at 060 552 7303. Take a break. When we come back on the other side, do you remember a couple of weeks ago? Last week, in fact, and the week before, we saw videos that were sent, all those videos that were trending on social media of what was supposed to be a football match in the Northern Cape. It didn't quite end like that. It ended with people in hospital because the home side decided that they didn't like the result and how it was looking. Mid-match, they beat the coach, they beat some of the players, unconscious even. People ended up in hospital. There were videos of just pure brutality. It looked like an MMA fight. When we asked them to come on the air and explain themselves, they told us they wouldn't do such. And then once we were on the air, we found out that it's the same team we've reported on before who have beat referees as well as other players before. The referee escaped with his life, but he was hospitalized, and later when we called, we found out that, he'd recovered from his wounds. The coach of the opposition team as well, the Jack Spear, former Orlando Pirates player, James Mutibi, he still has those injuries and he'll have those scars for life. But he's got his life. We put Safa under pressure, we put the SAPS under pressure, and we ask questions to say, guys, it's on video. It's on video. There is no ways that these people are walking free, and that weekend they were due to play games. Safa got together and they said, no, we're stopping all movements for now while we do further searches and, just expedition into this. Well, movement has happened. I'll tell you all about it when we come back. The police are going to come on, as well, of course, as the Safa head of competition in the Northern Cape, Matti Musimane-Kgape, and James Mutibi, the coach, who was brutally beaten. They'll come on as we share the new news. As I was saying to you, it was a Throwback Thursday story that we had covered, and it was one that it didn't sit well with me. Because if at the level where the Safa competitions are held, in the third, fourth tiers of South African football, that's the non-professional side of football. But already there, the things that are being taught, because you are teaching them, if you're the coach or the owner of the team, and you're allowing your team to be violent outside of 90 minutes, to stop a game and beat up a coach and beat up a referee because they're not happy with the decision a referee's made. Can you imagine if football and sports work like that? How many decisions have had you climbing the wall because you felt they were incorrect? But if we were to take matters in our own hands, it would be decay. It would be absolute decay. And Bob Khoza, the Duke, Dr. Irvin Khoza, often says that what we see in football, what we see in sport, is a reflection of society. It's never made more sense than right now when you take a look at what society looks like, what society is doing, and what societal ills we're fighting. And it pours onto the soccer pitch. A captain of a team beats up a referee and a coach. Well, we followed the story. We pressed what we needed to press as far as Safa's concerned, because they're in charge of that league, the SAPS as well, to say there must be arrest. People must go to prison. We can't say this is okay. There are young kids there that are watching these games that idolize these players because they come from their neighborhoods. They want to be like them. What are they being taught? I've got an update from you. This is from Lieutenant Colonel Sergio Koch of the Northern Cape. This is his update as far as what happened on that day. You remember those videos, right? They were trending all over social media of a referee running away, a coach trying to jump a fence, players running for their lives. This is what's happened since.
Good day, Andile and listeners. The Postmasburg SAPS arrested 8 males in connection with the alleged fight at the soccer match on the 24th of February 2024 in Postmasburg. The 8 males, who are between the ages of 26 and 34 years old, were charged with assault with the intent to cause grievous bodily harm. They were arrested on Friday the 8th of March 2024 and appeared in the Postmasburg Magistrates Court on the 11th of March. All the accused were released on 300 rand bail. The case is postponed for the 17th April 2024. The investigation continues.
Well, there it is. There's been arrests. 8 soccer players. Your brother, your cousin, your son who left to go and play football, but because they're ill-disciplined, because they don't know what sportsmanship is, now they've been arrested. What does that mean for their futures in football? All because you couldn't take one decision. 8 arrests have been made. 8 players have been arrested. I mean, it's a technical team. I think there's a member of the technical team there. But let's go to a Jack Spear coach, James Mutibi, who now joins us on the line. James, how are you?
I'm okay, Andile. How are you? And the viewers,
hey,
good evening.
You sound in better spirits than I've ever heard you speak on the show. Welcome, eh?
Yeah, they normally say it's football, but people say I must not say football, it's people. Yeah, but I'm okay, I'm better now.
Have you fully recovered from the injuries that you occurred after that game?
Andile, I can't say I'm fully recovered. Normally I've got sleepless night, wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, and fail to sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, no, I'm not fully recovered.
I must be very honest. When we had a conversation, I brought up the fact that, because this is the information we were getting when we were putting the story together, that violence was amplified because it was a black and color team, and we touched on it. Very, very. We didn't get into it. We lightly touched on it, but I went and I looked at the information that was given to the police as well, and in that I saw and I heard that there were racial slurs that were spoken of and said to you and members of your team.
Yeah, the reason why I said it is a racial attack, not understanding why is this happening to us, especially you leave everyone, you come to me after halftime, you provoked me and I was quiet, called me all the names, the K word, even after game when they went to attack me.
You were so sorry. I mean, I think you were called a kafir.
Yes, kafir. I was called kafir, and I didn't.
By the coach. You were called by players.
I was called by an official.
Okay, an official.
The team manager.
Okay, the team manager. Okay.
Yes, the team manager, not the players. I was called by a team manager who is colored, which I thought, if this guy is a colored, which means it's a racial attack. If someone is calling me kafir.
And then after that, of course, the violence then ensued.
They when they called me kafir, they came beating me up. They came beating me up until I trapped and they kicked me unconscious.
You've heard now the latest, and I don't want to just go back to that beating because I know what it does to you. I know it triggers you, and you've told us in detail, and we know of your injuries and being knocked unconscious as well and waking up later. You've heard the news now. We spoke to Colonel Lieutenant Sergio Koch, and 8 have been arrested. How did you feel upon hearing these news and knowing that the arrests have been made and that now it's up to the law?
When I heard that the arrest was made, it's where I respected our law, because this is exactly what must happen. I also heard that from my source in Postmasburg, I've also beaten up the guy that was beating me up. But Andile, how can I beat someone up while I'm in attack with more than 50 or 40 guys? How can I beat someone up? So I'm ready. I'm ready to go to court and go and give my statement if they come.
Also, the videos are there.
The videos are there.
So
who provoked the whole situation? It's not us. We came there for 3 points. We got a penalty in 85 minutes. And then we never attacked the referee. They attacked the referee. And I tried to protect my players away from the scene. I took them from their half to our half until they came from their half. After the referee, they came to me. So who provoked who? So I can't just beat up someone when someone came to me.
How do you feel about the arrest, though? Are you happy that those players were arrested? I mean, I know you're a father. Being a coach, it could put you in a position where, these boys have literally put their own fate of their careers of what could have been in football in their own hands now.
Andile, when I'm a role model to most of the young boys, and I'm helping a lot. And even now, 28, I'm going to play the Pirates Cup with my under-21 academy, James Matti Sport Development Academy. When this arrest happened, I felt for those underage players. Now, it comes to the leadership of a certain team. If you don't have leadership at a certain team, this will happen, and you will go and be undisciplined as they are. If you play under a disciplined team, it will never happen. You can't go in as a coach, you need to have a backbone as a coach and say, no, you're not going to the referee. So I think there's no leadership in the team. That's why this happened.
And you're going to give your statement. You're going to pursue this. You're going to help the cops because you want to see these boys in prison.
Yeah, no. If they have to go to prison, Andile, let them go for what they have done. Remember, I'm just not an ordinary person. I'm a person who tries to change the Northern Cape football, and I'm a person who has. I'm a person in community. I've played for the biggest team. I've played for teams in the PSL. I'm a community member. So no one will come and try to dent my image. So the police will deal with them.
James, we needed to just close this matter. We needed to find some finality to it and, make sure that it moves forward. We're going to be speaking to Safa and a few as well to see what this means for that team, what it means for the owner. I know that yourself and the owner did swap some words as well. Not a gentleman that you have kind words for.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Andile. We just will wait for Safa. After this, I'm ready for also to give my statement and be also a witness to Safa.
So you'd love to see, just you want to see the boys go to prison. What about the ownership and, what is your feel on what you'd like for Safa to do now as far as the ownership of the team, as far as the team is concerned? Do you want to see them come back, put a different team together and go back onto the pitch? Is this a team that you'd go to Postmasburg and play again?
Andile, my last statement at Metro FM, I said the Northern Cape is building themselves in terms of good football. We've got Andile and MC Pro, Uppington City, and we've got a ladies team. So we are growing as a province. So if we are having a team that is acting like gangsterism in the province and at ABC Motsepe, I normally say to them, Patrice Motsepe's father's initials is ABC Motsepe. Most of them, they don't know what is that name meaning. Because if Patrice is investing into the ABC Motsepe, you say what this barbaric act, they must stay in the league. I don't think they must stay in the league. The Premier Zamani Sol is a person, our Premier, that is a person that is supporting sports. So he will be very disappointed, or he is already disappointed what his own brothers did.
So, to be clear, you want them gone?
No, let them go.
You don't want these people in football?
Let them go. Let them focus on business. They tried with many teams, they failed. If you have failed, accept you have failed. You only failed when you don't respect football. You only failed when you don't respect yourself. You only fail when you don't respect the other person and the other teams. You only succeed when you respect everyone. So if they don't have respect, football doesn't have any space for them.
James Matti, thank you so much for talking to us. Really appreciate it. We're going to go now in a few to Mate Musimanekhape. But one thing stands out for me here, and I'll never understand it. And I saw a lot of this such behavior. And I remember we spoke about it with Skizo when Spiem Konza was still alive here, about, black players and colored players. I'll never understand why there'd be racial abuse and tension between those two people. It makes no sense to me. Guys, it makes absolutely no sense to me that a person who is colored, as what we call them in South Africa, mixed race perhaps in other places, would call a black person the K word. Make me understand. Where am I failing in seeing the rainbow in that? It makes no sense to me. What? Well, we know what the punishment that the boys are facing if they are found guilty. Of course, you heard the charges that came from Colonel Sergio Koch there as to what they are charged for. But now let's go to a different case altogether. Mate Musimanekhape is a Safa head of competitions in the Northern Cape. Mate Musimanekhape, thank you so much for always making yourself available and always coming on as far as this matter is concerned. Hi.
Good evening, to Mr. T and the team, and good evening to the listeners.
Listen, I'm going to off-ramp a little bit and ask you something that's got nothing to do with what's happening in the DC at the moment. But racial tensions between, black people, black players, and black colors, and black teams and colored teams. Is this something you're aware of?
Not at all. Not at all. We were quite surprised to learn of the report from specifically the coach of Justice Peers, Mr. James Ncube, who indicated those particular experience, which was, I believe, his own personal experience during that particular game. And we really, really hope that that particular incident did not happen. But we have coupled this particular DC with an inquiry to say we hope that out of the DC, the outcome thereof would indicate some of the utterances that he had, and that the DC to give us a direction to say these were actually confirmed, and therefore, Safa, you are required then to take the matter forward.
And you guys have taken the matter forward. The fact that there has been formal charges now, arrests have been made, does that change anything or alter anything with Safa and the DC and how you guys are handling things?
No, of course. Of course, the criminal part of it has a bearing because the South African police services are conducting their own independent investigation on the matters. So out of their matter also, they will obviously have a knock-on effect with what Safa will ultimately decide going forward. Although the matters are different, it might happen that at the subs level, a matter takes a bit longer, but the outcome thereof is something that we are really interested on.
Let's speak about what you guys have done. I understand there was a DC sitting today, was it?
The DC is still sitting as we speak.
Oh, so they're sitting as we speak now. So there is no updates that can come out of that room until it has been concluded.
Absolutely. They started at 1600.
What are they discussing exactly? What has been put on the table? What charges are we speaking of?
Okay, of course, here we have looked at the uniform rules. We have looked at the rules that governs or indicates that both teams must and have the responsibility to protect the match officials. That's one. The conduct of the supporters is very key. The conduct of the entire team is key. The conduct of individuals, whether you are sitting on the bench, you are as part of the first 11 or so, or participating 11. So, meaning, in summary, the approach is on the team and individuals.
When are we to expect the conclusion of this then?
I'm sure the DC will deliberate on the matter and issue the final verdict by tomorrow.
By tomorrow?
Yes.
All right, let me not drag this any longer then, because, let you go back in there so we can finish this, and hopefully tomorrow we'll find out exactly who you're banning for life. But we'll have that conversation tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. It's 1840 on the Mighty Metro FM.
Good evening, Andile. This is Mike from Cape Town. Andile, I believe Madrid are up there when we talk about Champions League. Although Man City, I'm not convinced with their form this season, but they can challenge Arsenal as well. Also, they can do the same. Thanks, Andile, for the show. This is Mike from Cape Town.
Andile le para la ga hareng ha mapara Jimmy Magao the busy one of Mozebe Andile ore ale a or botse selo hu ile langa Petersen le Chiefs me bra le defendera e tsamayang go Kaizer Chiefs ha season e fela me bra Andile hu ile langa Kaizer Chiefs boss wa ka Petersen was suspended or bang Andile re fe di khama boss wa ka sa hana ga di khang Jimmy Magao the busy one of Mozebe.
Jimmy, I tell you all the time that if you want to know about Kaizer Chiefs, you must follow them on Twitter. We'll discuss what we discuss, but they don't want to come. Can't just be reporting and, hey, come, let's have a conversation. It's an open invite, Jimmy. It's an open invite. To say, come, let's have conversations about everything. Let's talk. Let's get to understand where you are. Is this a building season? Is this a reaping season? Where are we? What is expectation? What's going on with the coach? You've said that the coach is an interim coach. What's happening further than that? We've had these conversations, Jimmy. We've got questions. I know you've got questions, but I can't force people to come here. I can't. And so I can't be invested in chasing, which, funny enough, we still do. Swallows used to tell us we can eat broken glass rather than come here. But we still ask. Because we do it for you. Because you want those things, and I want you to know what your team is up to. But if they don't want, there's nothing I can do, Jimmy. I can't force them. I can't go to court and to say to the PSL, you have to force them to come here. They've got their own prerogative, and for whatever reason, they feel that aggrieved, and they don't want to come. Excuse Jimmy.
Hey, I am an Timothy in Elsprit. Listen, man, 3 words. Let them go. I funeglen to fanale ingapindi yenzeke vele. Let them go, baba. Abahambe.
Andile. It's Sam here from Cape Town, my brother. All the way home in Limpopo. Champions League this season is very much interesting. Looking at the teams, I think every team now, they're looking at Dortmund like, that's a meet for us. So I think whoever get Dortmund, they will go to the final.
Aibo.
But I think Manchester City, they have a upper hand in all those teams. So they look more solid defensively, and they have more chances to win the Champions League than EPL. So I think they're gonna win it again. But it depends on who they draw in the quarterfinals. If they draw Madrid, PSG, I think they're gonna go to the final.
All right.
So yeah.
PSG on the last season of Mbappe. Hey, going to a final, wouldn't that be something? Let's take some of your calls. We do have while here, Malambule is out in Johannesburg.
Andile.
Hey, how's it, Malambule?
I'm good, Andile.
Yeah, talk to me.
Andile, I have to stop on the side of the road because I'm a bit traumatized. This is actually a societal issue. It's not a football issue only. As a country, we are a racist country, and we haven't nipped that in the bud at all. So the fact that as a society, as you're talking about what happened in Northern Cape, is something I've experienced in the East End, in Postmasburg. A colored guy comes into a store because he wants to pick from a bean. So the person that works in that store is a black person, tells him, no, we're still busy, we're going to sort out this thing. So he calls him K-word. How? We thought we are brothers and sisters. So what's happening to us as a society? Because it's problematic. It's problematic. It needs to stay out of the society. It needs to stay out of the football. Please.
Yeah, I must be very honest, it's something I've heard, but I've refused to believe for a long time. But let's take it to the listeners and listen. But I can't discount what you've experienced. Thank you very much. I appreciate your call.
Thank you very much.
And I can hear you're triggered. I mean, I can hear the passion in which you're making this call. Let's go to Spongelene. It's been a while. It's out of Matafane. Spongelene. How are you?
I'm very good. And you, Ma?
No. I'm always good, man. Talk to me.
Yes, Ma. I'm waiting for igame yesekokune ku-Nedbank Cup neLokhuzana
Namazulu.
Yeah, I was looking at lineup too, and I'm very disappointed with our coach for always fielding 5 defenders. But I think he got a plan for that. But I don't believe in that because it's not giving us too many options when we are attacking,
So
I think he could done better in terms of his starting lineup. Maybe reduce the defense into 4, so that you can take our midfield. So that going forward we will have numbers. Because when we are taking our defenders, they always got that mind that we have to sit back and defend, you know.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Amazulu at the moment, and I know, you absolutely love the team and you make sure that you support and follow everything they do. But when you look at Amazulu at the moment and you look at the last couple of matches in particular, the 1-1 draw with SuperSport, the 1-1 draw with Swallows, but the biggest issue, 3-0 against Sundowns. You go to Cape Town, 3 again is what you got. Remember, TS Galaxy, 3 is what you got there. So perhaps he's fixing the defensive problem before looking forward?
Fixing a defensive problem is not a problem, but don't take it. just solve the problem. I would overload the players with defense, because maybe that is the cause of ilapse defender emomba. Asemaningi, no one is taking responsibility now.
All right. No, ngiyazi umamela uphilane uzodlulisa umlayezo. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Let's go to Lunga. Lunga's out in Roodepoort. Lunga, hey, welcome.
Good evening, Ma.
Hey, man. Unesikhathi sonke ke ngikutetele. Speak your mind.
Yeah, no, but first and foremost, I just want to thank you guys for giving us isikhathi namhlanje. Asibonge la kumele kubongwe khona bafethu lisinikile isikhathi.
No, you've got it. Go for it.
Yeah, second of all, ngifuna ukukhuluma nge-Safa. I-Safa manje iya waste kakhulu, mara ayikho into engapheli. They've been exposed siyabonga. And then the other thing ukuthi sorry for ukuvusa amanxeba ngoSiphiwe Mkhonza ngizomkhumbula. And then I felt like and ngize ngamtshela naye ngathi you feel like you hold a lot, but sometimes in life we don't want to bend our bridges. But bomuzwa, good makuluma ngecheese man. We are sisekelwa, but we ask that with the inking sometimes good, but sometimes obviously we don't want to bend our bridges. And then lastly, ngiyazi ukuthi awusithandi mara vele nami angi-support indaba ye-Arsenal ukuthi angifuni mara yeke indaba ye-Champions League. Mina ngifuna i-league, ngifuna i-EPL, ngiyabonga
Oh, thank you very much, man.
Other people attend.
Well, you wanted to talk, and I think guys are laying everything that they've wanted to say for a while, so that's fine. Let's go to Bega. Bega is out in Boksburg. Wants to speak about the racial tensions in the Northern Cape that have now ended up having soccer players and administrators might be going to prison. They've been arrested and they're going to be going through a court case. There's investigations into them having beat a coach to a pulp, beat a referee unconscious. Bega. Oh, terribly sorry. Bega had been holding for too long there. Dixon is Gwamhlanga. Dixon.
Hi, Andile.
Hey, man. Always good to hear from you. Go for it.
Yeah, everyone has lost a trust in the system. That's why people take laws into their hands. Understand? You look at what is happening with everything, the PSL. Do you think the people in the ABC Muteba can trust the referees? If the referees that have been watched on TV 24/7 are not doing the right thing?
Listen, I completely hear you, Dixon, and I think there's an outcry for what referees are doing every single game. I'm pretty sure today's game as well.
Yeah.
But we can't even begin. Sorry, and I'll let you finish, but we can't even begin to say what happened in Postmasburg is okay. The physical violence that we witnessed there, where you beat people unconscious because you're not happy with a football decision, that cannot be condoned.
Yeah, that's totally wrong. But the problem with society, societal problem. People don't appreciate each other anymore. There's no Ubuntu because in the previous time, we were fighting one common enemy. Understand? Which was the system of apartheid. Now that we've got out of that system, now we are fighting among each other now. Understand?
It's pouring out in the worst way possible, but I completely hear you. I'll never accept that a football decision is okay.
I'm so heartbroken. My spirit is broken, and we can't be experiencing such things where people are black, but they're calling other blacks cursors. You can't be in such a society. You can't be doing that.
Well, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And we're just speaking as it was reported, and this is a court case that is ongoing, and there's video evidence of it all. So we have to wait and see. Let's move on. We've got, who do we have now, Malcolm? West is out in Tembisa. Been a while. West.
Hi, Mr. President. How are you? Long
Hey,
time.
man, very long time. Are you well?
Yeah, I'm doing great, and I hope you're doing great as well. But I've been listening. You sound in good shape.
No, I'm strong. I'm strong.
Yeah, you're keeping. Mr. President, it's heartbreaking to see how our football is running in account. And it's about time other people's time, I mean, their invite, I think they overstayed for their invite. The like of Danny Jordan. And I mean, I still encourage women empowerment as well as I would like to see more women in football. But I think time of Mary Aledwaba as well has gone past. Now, my feeling is we need to have businessmen, a real businessman who will run stuff like a very serious corporate business by everybody who has to do something, everybody do their job, because currently everybody keeps covering for, there's a lot of things that are happening. Currently we have racial issues, the issue of referees, you know how I feel about issues of referees, putting our national coach in the situation that is in now. You are unable to get 16 coach in one room to help our national coach as well. Those are the things that somebody somewhere is not doing his job. And that is very worrying. And where is it taking our... But I think the era of Jordan and our it's gone. It's done. We just need new fresh mind. We're going to invest in more football. We're going to have better.
So West, you're saying, you can see what's happening with Mary Aledwaba. You appreciate the fight, but you think even her era is gone?
I think her era is gone. I mean, it's somebody that I think she could have taken time to mentor somebody. You understand? We things have evolved, things change, a lot of things. Now we need to think like nice people and make sure that we invest a lot. We must forget about putting a lot of politics
from the people and you're a very, very in touch person. Who's the best next person to lead us, as far as the South African Football Association is concerned?
At this present moment, I haven't put much into it. In the next 2 weeks, I will be able to tell you.
Oh, I'd love to hear it. Wes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Let's go to Itumeleng. He's out in Centurion. Wants to speak about the racial tensions that we spoke of a little bit earlier, where racial tensions fueled, an ugly, vicious interaction out in Postmasburg. It's Postmasburg, yeah? Yeah, Postmasburg. Itumeleng.
Andile.
Hey, man, I'm always good. Talk to me.
Good, yeah. Racism in these provinces, whether you want to sugarcoat it or not want to accept it, it happens, it's there, and we see it all the time. I travel quite a bit in these two provinces, Northern Cape and Northwest. I joined the N14 here in Centurion, right up to Springbok. Then I stop along the road, and it's happening whether we want to accept it or not. It's there. That guy from Safa, he doesn't know about it. I don't know where he comes from.
And is this something you've experienced personally, or these are stories that you're just hearing?
Well, it wasn't directed at me, but in Uppington, I hear them calling up against Suffers, and in Kimberley also. It wasn't directed at me, but I took offense of that.
Yeah, no, listen, I wasn't aware that there was still such in South Africa. So when I heard about it in football...
It is. I hear it often when I travel in these provinces.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it, Itumeleng, for sharing that with us. It's about to go 4 after the hour 7. I'm out of here. The biggest talk show in South Africa coming in a few. From all of us here, the Lepara today will give it to Faith. Congratulations. Olepara. Pela. That's all.